baby identifies as what? Does this mean you can make your neon white baby identify as a 6'5" black man? Oh my god. DRT is king, Dave the 10th. The phenomenon of Irish twins is when a woman has kids less than 9 months, but when the woman is making milk is when she isn't to have sex. So there is a narrow window you can make her pregnant again. What do you mean by when the woman is making milk is when she isn't to have sex? Is this like a thing? If the woman is lactating, you can't put the dick in? Like, I don't understand. Oh, where y'all getting this data? Put me in, coach. You need to correct this information. You need to correct information. I have no idea what's happening, man. It's a vagina, not a clown car. Jesus fuck 22. Are we talking about the logistics of having Irish twins? I've never even heard the term Irish twins before. Hello?
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 Wait, is it working?
It's working. Are you here to dispel some myths?
Yes, I need to answer some questions. I don't know. Chat's being crazy right now.
Introduce yourself to chat. I don't have a Foogie or anything.
That's okay. Hi, I'm Minna Vanilla. This is Dough Baby. I have credentials. I don't know. Chat, breastfeeding, all this stuff. I don't know. Too much misinformation happening.
Yeah, I've never created another human life, so like I can't correct the misinformation. I don't know that much, you know?
Yeah. I think, what was it? I don't know what the one person was saying about not being able to have sex. Well, yeah,
baby noises.
What's up? Mama. Let's see if I can think straight.
Yeah, he said the phenomenon of Irish twins is when a woman has kids less than 9 months, but when the woman is making milk is when she isn't to have sex. Narrow window you can make her pregnant again.
No, exactly. Exactly. Okay, because so average for women that want to be able to breastfeed is usually at least a year. That's a lot of women's goal, is to breastfeed for at least a year. I think the whatever organization even recommends for 2 years, because there's just so much good stuff in your milk. And then outside the West, it's common to like continue a little bit the nurse, like you were really loud with those balloons. Continue nursing till like 4 or 5 is like little comfort being. Also for like being extended nursing is like a trump card when you've got a toddler that doesn't have any, isn't able to regulate emotions or have much logic. And so if they're melting down or tired or get hurt or need to sleep, pop the boob in the mouth. Works
Hell
great.
Yeah. That works for your husband too, right?
No.
Rats, I can't just pop the boob in his mouth and stop an argument.
Times, unless you're freaky, the only times a woman has her husband assist her is if she has mastitis or a clogged duct. That's where like one of the milk ducts gets kind of inflamed and blocked up, and then you have to get that worked out, otherwise it can cause an infection. And so I haven't personally done it, but I know women will use their husbands to be like, you need to get, you need to help me massage and get this sucked out.
Well, I'd ask him to do that too, but also, if I got some extra left over in the tanks after the baby's done eating, I'd be like, hey husband, do you want to see what this tastes like? A real man wouldn't decline.
I wouldn't do it from the tap. I like, you express it or pump a little bit into a cup and maybe see if they want it. But other than that, I'm like, I want to do it from the tap.
Oh, I do it from the tap, all natural, man. If he expects me to drink from his tap, he can drink from mine.
You can help him with his gains.
Exactly. Let's get that extra protein.
Goodness gracious. There's some other fun facts. So yeah, I had 2 natural home births. My mom, she had 6 kids. I was the last one in the hospital. The other 3 were unassisted home births. My brother, so my brother that has the thick wrists with those apples, him and his wife on their 3rd kid, they did unassisted. He like caught the baby in the bathroom for her.
Oh, he was really good with those apples too. She's a lucky lady.
She is. Yeah, no, I love talking about birth. So any questions you have?
when
I'm
I
here.
eventually find a man, I'll be sure to hit you up. Be like, hold on, before I get pregnant, prepare me.
Oh yeah. Okay, here I'll give a couple little tidbits of like, okay, the birth funnel is like so insidious to new moms. And
That sounds scary.
It's basically like, okay, you've got hospitals. The hospitals, it's mostly policies faults. Like, you've got these hospitals, they don't want to be sued. They have their policies, they have their procedures. Hospitals are great at helping when things go wrong. Problem is, birth, if there's no, complications, it's just, kind of a regular birth. It's supposed to happen. It's not something that needs to be fixed. It's something that needs to be supported. But just the way most hospitals and birthing in hospitals goes, oh goodness, you slipped.
I was like, he's going to town on that balloon.
I know. Here, maybe you can go play in the tatami room. Here, go fetch.
Did you say commie room?
Oh, tatami room.
Oh, okay. I was like, you have a room where you just
room.
throw communists in it? Kind of based?
No, that's the pit out back.
Oh, okay, good.
We'll get a helicopter going. Let's see. So basically the birth funnel is like, okay, your mom, you trust the doctors with everything. And it's like, if it's small little interventions, like, oh, you're going a little long, or like, oh, the baby's measuring kind of big, which is kind of hard to really tell how big the baby's measuring the way they do it. And it's like, oh, maybe we should do an induction. And then, that's already something that's kind of now being interjected into the birthing process. When your body has all this symphony of hormones and different things that go into play when a birth is happening. But it's basically like one intervention tends to lead to another, and then to another, and then it kind of complicates things. Then you end up with a C-section. And then it's like, okay, you have another kid, and then you start doing your own research and realizing like, oh, I want to do things way differently. But now I have to fight the doctors to get a VBAC, which is being able to have a vaginal birth after having a C-section. And it just kind of, it sets up, I feel like it often sets moms up for failure.
Yeah, I read something recently. I was gonna say, I read something recently about that where like, when you go to the doctor and you start having like these interventions that are supposed to like help you with the birth, like one intervention just leads to another, that leads to another, that leads to another, and eventually like, oh yeah, it's time for a C-section because we can't get this to work. But it's like,
oh, we saved you
because of all the interventions.
Saved
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, doc. They saved their wallets for all the money you're gonna fork out for that.
That's true. I mean, yeah. Oh, what's fun? I think the reason mom started having unassisted home births, which I prefer having a midwife, just that's an extra pair of hands that can handle all that.
It makes you feel safe.
Miliardo can be there, like just holding my leg up for me. I got a Charlie horse.
Oh no!
During I got a Charlie horse while I was pushing out my second.
I would die, dude. I don't think I could handle a Charlie horse during birth. A Charlie horse by itself is bad enough.
It was like, I'm like, pushing it started and whatever, and then Charlie horse happened. I was just like, oh no, I was just like, this baby's coming out now, like
oh my god,
focus all my energy of like, he's coming out, and he did, and you can hear him over there. He's going, you come out now. He is a feisty little guy. Yeah. I saw a question. Where did it go? Let's see. I know I saw a question. Okay, please ask Minna, would she rather have a C-section or vaginal birth? 100% vaginal birth. I hope that I never have to have a C-section because I much prefer vaginal. And also, like, so having, nothing interfere, get in the way. Like, I think things like epidurals and stuff could mess up with, like, the flow of hormones afterwards.
Yeah.
And, like, I remember particularly after the second line, it's like, you can't remember how hard it is outside of the moment. Like, it's all gone. Like, it's only super hard in the moment. You just gotta get through it. And then afterwards, when the baby's born, then all the hormones hit, and you have, like, this cocktail of hormones. I've been sitting there just, like, I could just feel, like, this cup of happy hormones. Oh, you want that shirt on? Like, just drinking it, and I was sitting there, like, minutes after birth, like, man, I could do this 10 more times.
Your body tries to help you feel a little bit better, honestly.
Yeah. It's like, it's funny going into the second birth, because it was like, okay, I kind of remember what this was like. This is going to be super hard. And then it happens, and you're like, oh. But the biggest thing about labor, especially to keep it from not being, like, overwhelmingly painful, is it's all in your mind. Your body is doing the work. You just have to get out of your body's way. And, like, as soon as you start to tense up, like, it's all, like, it's waves. So it's like the contractions come in waves. So it's just like, during the contraction, you just have to like make it to the top of the wave and like not tense up. You can't let yourself tense up. That's when it starts hurting. If you can keep your mind and keep yourself like calm and like working through it, breathing through it, there's all kinds of techniques. Have your Miliardo's my birth coach, so or hit my support, so it's like he's there, helping me count or doing different like pressure points or different things. So you just gotta like stay out of your own way. Try and like keep your body as loose as possible, because your uterus is basically this big balloon that's like squeezing from the top, slowly like getting the baby down the birth canal. So as long as you can stay out of your way, like as soon as you start kind of to feel a little bit panicked or tense, that's when it hurts. As long as you can keep your mind and your body relaxed and like feeling safe and like working through it, it's super intense and hard, but it's not overly painful.
Interesting.
And it's much more relaxing at home, because it's like you're in your own space. With my first birth, I had like my lo-fi going on in the background and everything. So it's a lot of labor often starts at night because of certain hormones coming into play. So many hormones of different that your body's doing. It's fascinating. But a hospital, of course, it's like you're outside your home, you're surrounded by people, it's these bright lights, these white walls, like it's your body
like it makes you anxious.
Safe. Yeah, like you need to feel like your body, if your body's feeling stressed, it's not going to want to give birth, because it's like, if there is a tiger, if you feel like, oh no, I'm under threat or I'm feeling stressed, your body's going to be like, well, this is not a good spot to drop the baby. So yeah, I don't know. Hospital births, it can be fun, can be fine. You can have a great team. So many factors that go into it. For me, obviously my mom had, on her fourth baby, they didn't have insurance and they couldn't afford the midwife, and she was on the phone with midwife like, oh, what am I gonna do? And the midwife was like, you could just have the baby. And she was like, yeah, I could. So there's a couple different books. One I read that was really nice was Natural Childbirth the Bradley Way or something like that. And that one was a good one, just talking about all types of different factors in labor, different techniques, all kinds of stuff. One thing that was fascinating is just gives an example of like how long it takes for things to be updated in the medical world or accepted. Is they used to x-ray women while they were in labor to see if her pelvis was big enough for the baby to fit out, even though like your pelvis shifts and moves when in pregnancy and labor, and they're like, oh, wait a second, maybe we shouldn't give these infants cancer by x-raying them.
Maybe don't give the baby cancer.
That was proven, and then it took maybe, I forget if it was 10 or like 25 years for that to be accepted. And other things, ways that like policies get in the way is, okay, so for example, like monitoring the fetal heart rate. That's a big factor of like making sure the baby's heart rate is staying good and like making sure they're not getting too stressed by the labor. Usually an emergency C-section often happens when the heart rate drops on the baby. And most of the time they monitor it by having mom on the back, which is the worst way to get birth.
I've heard.
It's makes like the least amount of room. And so they have like this big strap on the belly to monitor it. And it's been proven that it's like not actually that accurate. They can be just as accurate or more accurate using just like the little thing that you stick on your ears and listen with the whatever that stethoscope. I gotta slow down because I get talked and wound up. So anyway, it's like, okay, that's actually not that accurate. It can kind of maybe lead to more emergency C-sections. Like we have a crazy high rate of C-sections in these states. It's like crazy. So anyway, but it's like, okay, that's kind of evidence-based that like this isn't necessary and might even be like less, like not as good as other methods for monitoring the heart rate. But say you're a doctor and you want to follow the newest, like the, updated evidence or, do things that are kind of better for the mom and give her a better support in labor. But if something does happen and then you're sued and then the court's looking at it like, well, why weren't you doing what just everyone else was doing? Like, it's all policies, it's all bureaucracy.
Yeah.
How much does a midwife cost?
So I was East Coast when I had my 2 births. My insurance was able to cover about half of it, and I think it was like between like $2,500 to like $3,000 total.
Oh, that is way cheaper than I was expecting.
Right?
Oh my god!
Yeah, like And the other thing is like, I hear like OB appointments, like at your regular doctor as you go, you have like 10 minutes to talk to them, and like that's it. And oftentimes their doctors, like, it changes who your actual doctor is, so you don't actually know who you're going to give birth with. Whereas a midwife, they carve out like an hour to talk with you at your appointments.
Nice.
And they like really go into details about things, really try and give you all the information about stuff, all the different options, the reasons behind stuff. Like they're very focused on like the mom being able to be informed and in control and supporting her and all kinds of stuff like that. Also, I'm gonna say hi to my brothers because they listen to you. They listen to your streams more often than I do. I need to text them and brag that I'm talking to Kirsche.
While you're doing that, Bagman, thank you for the raid. Welcome people from Bagman stream. It's the birth hour.
Woo, woo, woo. I'm gonna be Kirsche's birth coach.
Oh hell yeah.
Do a birth stream.
Another question I have is like I've heard that there's lots of like, folklore, wives' tale kind of things on how to ensure whether you have a boy or a girl. Is that a thing, or is it all just RNG?
I have no clue. I think the thing I've heard the most is if you have sex like closer to your ovulation, that like the boy sperm are supposed to like get there faster or something. I don't know. Like that's the only thing I've heard is like if you have sex closer to your ovulation, then you're more likely to get a boy. And if you have, so like a woman's cycle, obviously you're a woman, you probably know this, but you have your mucus and everything, and it's like the sperm can't live if there's not mucus. So once you have mucus and say you have sex like a few days, maybe like 5 days before your ovulation, that mucus is kind of hanging out in there. Apparently that's when like the girl sperm are more likely, and then if you have sex closer to ovulation, then the boy sperm are more likely. I don't know, I've heard that a bunch. I have like no clue where that's based on, but that's the only thing I've heard of like how to try and have a boy or girl. I'm
gonna look up every culture's superstitions on how to ensure you have a boy or a girl, and I'm going to employ them and see if it works. I was like,
test it out.
If I combine all of the superstitions, surely that increases the percentage chance, right?
Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. It's like a gotcha game.
Well, it is like a gotcha game. You gotta just keep rolling until you get the one you want.
No, I've seen people that will have like tons of like either boys or girls, like tons of them, and then like maybe finally get a boy or the opposite sex.
They're like, it's time to stop.
Some of them it's just like, look, we've had 8 girls, I don't think we're getting a boy.
Yeah,
or
right.
Vice versa.
I was like, you're lucky we don't still behead those who do not give sons.
Oh my gosh, ridiculous. Any other questions?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head. I think my big ones were about the midwife and then the superstitions. And I just realized it's also Sunday, and I have neglected as many thank yous as I should have been doing. I got distracted with the yappening.
Oh, yeah. All right, well, I probably need to start my day more. It's 8 in the morning JST time.
Oh, wow. I didn't know you were in Japan right now.
So, yeah, I've been in Japan for a minute now. Yeah, it's been fun. Having a good time.
Maybe I'll have to see you and Polt Fan if I go and visit, because I'd love to take a trip to Japan at some point.
Ooh, yeah, definitely.
Hell yeah.
I'm not on mainland. I'm on one of the islands off of mainland. But it's really fun over here.
It sounds like it from all the stuff Polt says, so that'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, well, I'll be in touch then.
Well, thank you for your acknowledges. Have a good day.
Thank you, you too.
Bye.
Bye, chat.
Like that was very nice. That was very nice information. We got some nice infos, dude. Thanks, Minna Vanilla. I can't say that name correctly ever. my Boston makes it impossible. She sounds like a nice lady. She is a nice lady. There's a nice lady. Full pregnancy stream when? Look, I don't know if I can stream my birth. I'll be screaming expletives. I mean, I guess in theory, I could eat my first ban for screaming slurs while I give birth, right? Like, it'll be my first ban. They can't perma-ban me. That time the Kirsche piloted the Minna Vanilla model. Yeah, the one done by Romania-chan. She did really good, really fast rigging, man. VTuber model birth. Why would you need to scream slurs while giving birth? It's like when you reflexively yell when you stub your toe. When you're in pain, you just scream shit. You don't think. You don't have the time to think. Your body is just like, pain! So, you know, it's like, slurs are gonna come out. Like, I don't even need to think about it. I just know that's gonna happen. Make up for the lack of a birthing stream by having a placenta cooking and eating stream. Imagine I'm like, you know, flopped over exhausted in my home birthing pool. My midwife is swaddling the baby, and I'm just like, dear husband, I cannot move, but you must scoop out the placenta chunks. I need to do a cooking stream. Chat, yelling expletives is literally scientifically proven to reduce pain. True and real? Jesus Christ, have mercy on my ears. Thanks, I hate it. Yeah, right? Wargame341, thank you for the 5. Kirsche combines all birth superstition. Sounds like someone wants to birth the star child. Look, I just really want a son, okay? I would love a daughter if I had one as well. Like, no fucking, like, weird shit, but I would love to have a son.